Here at KSMO Radio 1340, we thank you for being along with us. It is Wednesday, January 26th. It's time for us to have a little conversation with Rachel Hopkins from the University of Missouri Extension System. Rachel, you there?
I am. How are you today?
Doing good, really good. The sun looks pretty out there, doesn't it?
It is. As long as the sun's shining, that's the main thing.
Yeah, as long as you're on the other side of the window, getting warm, right?
Exactly.
A little cold out there. Well, we're glad to have you with us as we do our last Wednesday of every month. We try and have somebody on from the extension and get us update on different things going on. It has been, I'm sure 2020 and 2021 have been just kind of really weird years for the extension, hasn't it?
They have. We've had different directions on how to go, moving to virtual programs, offering a lot of things virtually, hybrid programs. It's like everything else. It's been a constant flux, and I think everyone's just ready for something.
Something. And that could be anything, right?
Exactly.
Well, there are a lot of programs that are going to be coming up, so we're going to touch on some of those that'll be coming up in the very near future. But what would you like to lead off with, Rachel, and tell us about?
So I'll just lead off in order in the dates on how they come up. And
Okay.
On February 11th, if there is anyone out there who is interested in making syrup and tapping trees, I would encourage them to get a hold of Sarah Havens over there at Phelps County Extension Office, as there is going to be a tree syruping workshop held out there at Wardak Research Farm in Cook Station.
Okay, that's an afternoon.
On February 11th.
That's afternoon, right? That's in the afternoon?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, I think it's 1 to 4 in the afternoon, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so they got to go out there and grab their own little tap and their hammer and tap it in like you see on TV, right? You just old movies.
Yep, they're going to learn how to do that. They're going to learn. Excuse me. I'm not sure exactly the details of it, but if you have an interest in making syrup or tapping trees, this would be a really good workshop for you to attend.
Okay, now there is a $5 cost, right?
Correct.
Okay, so $5 cost for this, and it's a 3-hour program, so you're going to learn a lot. Now, it's not, I think a lot of people have a misconception, Rachel, that you just go I'm going to go get my syrup right out of the tree. You're just getting sap out of the tree, aren't you?
Correct. You're getting sap, and then that has to be collected and boiled down to make your syrup. And it's not just as easy as going out there and grabbing it and trotting back to your stove and your pan and boiling it down. There's quite a few processes that you have to go through, and it's pretty labor-intensive. So whenever you see a $15 bottle of pure maple syrup, you'll learn the reason why it is so expensive.
Well, and it's a labor of love because once you get to the end product, you usually have a product that you're very proud of and one that you can't wait to taste.
Exactly. So if anyone has an interest in this,
Okay.
This would be a really good 3 hours to spend out there at Wardak.
Sarah Haven's number, do you have it handy? I believe I can get it here real quick if you don't.
I do not have it handy.
Okay, here we go. 573-458-6260, and her email is haven, HAVENS, at missouri.edu. So that's an easy way to get in touch with Sarah, isn't it?
It is very easy. Okay. And the next one is
Okay.
the very next day, February 12th.
Okay.
And this is a Timber Harvest Basics program that Sarah is also doing out there at Wardak. This has a $35 fee to it. So if you have some timber on your place, you're a small landowner, you just bought the property or whatever, and you want to know some more about harvesting timber, the ins and outs of it, this would be a good $35 to spend to learn how to correctly harvest or to better harvest your timber. Items you need to think about, procedures, how to sell it, and those types of things.
Okay, very good. And that's really geared to toward ladies, though, isn't that program? More toward ladies? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
All right. So if you'd like to learn how to do that, this will be a morning program out of Wardak, won't it? 9 to noon, I believe. All right. Very good. And there's probably more elements than people think to having a timber sale, right?
There is. There's a lot more to it. A lot of things that don't even cross your mind until they're done and gone, and you wish you looked back and would have done it slightly differently.
Okay, so I believe what Sarah's going to actually do is kind of have either a mock or an actual completed timber sale at that event, aren't they?
Okay.
I think that's.
I'm not sure on the details of
Okay.
it, to be completely honest.
Okay, I think they are, so that somebody actually get a first-hand view of how this is actually done.
Okay.
You know, that's
well, then it'll be a real educational experience for them.
Absolutely. Again, let me give you Sarah's number again in case somebody missed it the first time, 458-6260, and that email is havens, HAVENSS at Missouri, spell out Missouri.edu, and that's on February 12th, 9 to noon. So an early morning one. After an afternoon session, we'll come right back with a morning session.
Yep.
Gotta love it.
So, and then after that, I'm not sure of the date in Dent County or the surrounding counties, but right now there's private pesticide applicator trainings going on throughout the counties.
February 24th here.
Okay, good deal.
Okay, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Nope, you're fine. I didn't have the date for Dent County, but if there are any farmers out there or people in ag that use restricted pesticides or herbicides on their place, and they need a license, or their license is about to expire, they need to go attend this course.
Okay, you have to renew. Is it every 5 years?
Correct. Every 5 years, they have to renew.
Okay, so if you haven't renewed in 5 years, you can't do this anymore. And you also have
Correct.
to, I believe you have to be 18 as well to qualify, right?
Yes, and if someone out there wants to get their private pesticide license, this is the time to do it.
Okay. Now, I remember, and I'm doing this off the top of my head, there is a manual they have to have. They can use it if they've already bought it, but if they don't have it, they need to get one, don't they?
Correct, and they can get that through the local extension office. They're in Salem.
Okay.
And that is correct, Stan. If they already have the manual, they do not have to buy another one. If they don't have one, if they're new to it, or if they've lost theirs, they need to get a new manual to make sure all the boxes are checked.
All right, very good. I believe that's $25, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Does that sound right? Okay, very good.
Yes.
All right, now, so this the private pesticide applicator training this is one of those hybrid programs, right? And then it being held both ways?
I'm not sure. There's probably some online, but I believe Gatlin is doing this in person.
Okay, I know they are having it in person, but I do believe you can also do it online if there's none in your area, I believe.
Yes, there are online options. However, I would encourage this one to go in person if you can.
Yeah.
Gatlin's a really good teacher, and you would learn a lot more in person than you would online.
I have to agree with that. I have not done this personally, but I do know of people who have, and they said it's an exceptional course to take, and you learn a tremendous amount of information. So, yeah, I would highly recommend going and doing it. Do you have Gatlin's number?
Let's see here. I do not. I know he's on the road quite a bit right now.
Okay. I got it. I found it. Okay. 573-775-2135. You can also call the Dent County Extension Center here locally, 729-3196, and get information that way as well. If you can't reach Gatlin, like you mentioned, he's on the road quite a bit. Gets in those pockets, there's no cell signal. Are you
Exactly. And just call the Dent County Extension Office, and then they can get a word to him.
Right. Probably
a lot quicker than trying to call his normal office.
Okay, so our local private pesticide applicator training is February 24th, and that's an evening course, 6 to 8:30, correct? Okay. I think they're all evening courses, if I'm not mistaken, but I didn't check every single one, I'll be honest with you. I did see them, though, and I thought that's good, because we haven't had one. It seems like we haven't had one in about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, they've done a great organization of them, so anyone who's needing to renew them, this is the time to do it.
Okay, very good, very good. All right, I do know that our extension also, it is tax time, right, Rachel?
Yes. So if anyone is needing the Irs Farm Tax Guide, there is some located there at your local extension office. These simply help you look at look through the current IRS regulations on how they relate to farms.
I see.
And help you maybe formulate some questions before you go to your tax accountant. Maybe you've got a question on a specific thing, you can look it up real quick. So if anyone has questions on that for your IRS tax guide, give me a call. Or you can stop by the local office and pick one up. They should have plenty.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. Okay. And of course, the local office is in the Denton County Judicial Building. It is on the second floor. If you can't make it up to the second floor, call them. They'll bring one down to you. 729-3196. And this is a very informative guide. So if you aren't sure if it's what you need, hey, pick one up anyway, because if you do any kind of farming, people sometimes forget, even the smallest amount of farming needs to be reported to the IRS, and most of the time you can take those expenses off, which might come in handy, very handy.
Yep. So, no, this is a really good guide to get just to flip through while you're sipping your morning coffee or something, just to help you. Maybe it'll answer a question, or maybe it'll bring up something that you didn't even think of.
Right.
It's not real in-depth reading or anything, but you never know what you could get out of it that could help you.
And it might lead to a question or two you might ask your accountant if you're not sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
and we have one more program coming up here in March.
Okay, what is that?
So that is March 4th on a Friday. It is the Central Missouri Forage and Beef Conference.
Okay.
This is going to be held in Vienna this year.
Okay.
And it's a Friday afternoon. Registration and trade shows start at 12:30. And then it will conclude with dinner at 6:30.
Okay, very good. All right, so
you can register online for this, or you can call the Marys County Soil and Water District at 573-422-3342.
Okay, very, very good. Now that's March 4th, right?
Correct, Friday, the first Friday in March.
All right, so the week after FFA Day, right? Our FFA Day is the last Friday in February, so that'll be a nice thing, and we always have a good time with our FFA kids. So they come in here and we interview them, and it's a lot of fun, really a lot of fun to hear what their views are. It's amazing what you see through the eyes of children, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, very good. I did have one other program that's kind of not just a university extension program, but also it's work in part with the farmers market people. And they're going to have a 5-session Zoom course, or I should say maybe webinar, coming up in February. Do you know about that?
Yes, I know vaguely of it.
Okay.
If anyone is interested in farmers markets, I believe they're going to have different structures related to what to think about if you're going to sell at farmers markets.
Right.
Structured throughout the year. This is the first section of it. So if you're interested in being a vendor at a farmer's market, wondering what the laws, the regulations, the tax side of it is, this would be a really good Zoom session for you to attend. I think you would have a lot of questions answered, or it might bring up items that you hadn't necessarily thought about either in relation to doing a farmer's market.
Yeah, there's a lot of those out there, aren't there?
There is, yes.
Okay, so that's going to be February 7th through the 11th. It's from noon to 1, and there are 5 different parts to that series. The cost is $20. And again, that'd be an outstanding program, especially we are that close to farmers markets being open again, aren't we?
You don't think about it, but spring will be here before we know it.
I know. It's just hard to believe we're almost in February now.
I'm ready for spring. I think everyone is.
Yeah, the sun looks good, but the temperature's just not complying. It's not working out very well there. All right, so if you want to join that farmers market program, I don't really know what else to call it. It's just really just a good webinar on maybe we should call it the basics of the farmers market, and then maybe as we get into it about the different things that are available. There are state regulations you have to follow and some other things that they're going to bring out to you. So if you're not aware of those, this would be an outstanding webinar to watch. I think you can call Leslie Birch is the one taking care of that one, I believe. And I think I got a number here, 314-400-2115. You can also call your local extension office. They can give you more information as well. But 314-400-2115, and Leslie can give you a lot more detail than our local extension is, because she really does a great job with this webinar, and I think it's a fantastic thing. It's called 2022 Selling at the Farmers Market. I found the name of it.
Good deal.
Very good. That should be a very good program for any of our local vendors who are thinking about doing that. And it might even update you, or maybe even even though you've maybe been a farmer's market participant in the past, you might learn something, right?
Exactly. Some of these laws and regulations, they might flux from year to year. So just staying on top of them so you're up to abreast on everything, it never hurts. Yeah. It never hurts to have a refresher course when it comes to laws and regulations.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Have anything else for us, Rachel?
I don't think so. Nope. I think we've hit on everything coming up in the areas of extension here for the next month or two.
Okay, very good. Well, we always appreciate our friends from the extension joining us via phone or in person, and we would always want to remind anybody, if you do have a question or two, you want to find out more about soil testing or hay testing or anything like that, please get in touch with your local extension office at 729-3196, or feel free to stop on by. Plus, they have an incredible amount of brochures on a variety of different subjects. The extension is very good about that, aren't they?
Yes, we have tons of information on about anything you could possibly want.
And most of it, if not all of it, is free. Isn't that great?
Exactly. That's the best part.
I like free. Everything that's free, I like. Well, mostly. Mostly. Well, Rachel, again, thank you for taking the time to get with us this morning. We do appreciate that. We hope you have a fantastic rest of the January and February. It sounds like you're going to be pretty busy out there, aren't you?
Yep, I think everyone is. And thank you very much, Dan.
Appreciate you, Rachel. Take care, and we will talk to you again soon.
You too.
Thank you. Bye. All right, that's Rachel Hopkins from the University of Missouri Extension, right here on KSMO Radio 1340, and we thank our friends from the Extension in providing us with that information so we can bring that to you right here. You can always also find that on your Extension website. You can go to University of Missouri Extension, or you can just, and you can always find Dent County by just typing in the search bar, or you can put the extension.com, I believe, and then just /Dent, and that should get you there too. But you can find the programs. They're pretty much in a row. You can also sign up for the University of Missouri Extension newsletter. They send one out every month, and it'll get you up to date on the programs that are available, how to sign up for those programs, and we'll give you links to those programs on your phone or on your tablet or computer, wherever it might be, so that you can access those and stay abreast of the different programs that are being offered. So a lot of different things going on at the University of Missouri Extension. I'm just going to repeat them here because, phones don't always make it very clear. So what Rachel was talking about, the Introduction to Tree Syruping Workshop, that is going to be for woodland owners, farmers, ranchers, anybody who's interested in tree syruping. That's going to be Friday, February 11th from 1 until 4 in the afternoon. And the cost of that workshop is $5. And then the Women Owning Timberland Sale Workshop. It's a woodland timber sale workshop at the Wordak Farm again. That'll be on Saturday, February 12th from 9 until noon. And again, this program covers a lot of different elements of what's a timber sale contract, management practices. You'll have a chance to see a completed timber sale at this timber sale workshop. There is a cost of $35 for that workshop, and both of these workshops are being instructed by Sarah Havens. Get in touch with Sarah at 573-458-6260 or email Sarah at havens@missouri.edu. That's HAVENSS at Missouri, spell it out, MISSOURI.edu. Also, if you have any questions or you'd like to have Sarah maybe get in touch with you, call the Dent County Extension Center, 729-3196. They can give you more information on that. Now, as Rachel mentioned, the private pesticide applicator training, that's going to be coming up on February 24th here at the Dent County Extension Office Judicial Building, 6 to 8:30 in the evening. Again, if you need to get a license, you'll be attending for the first time, you need to bring $25 to cover the cost of a manual. You can buy it by cash or check. No credit cards are accepted now for that manual. Cash or check only. If you already are an applicator, you already have your license, you have to renew that license every 5 years. So make sure that you check that license to see when you need to renew it. If you need to attend, make sure that you are there to get that license renewed before it expires. You also must be 18 years of age and directly involved in the production of agriculture commodities to get the license as well. So if you have any questions about this, call 729-3196, or you can contact Gatlin Bunton. He'll be teaching this, 573-775-2135. He's out of Steelville office, and he's on the road a lot. So you know how hard it is to get some cell service in some parts of the county. He may not be available, so you may want to call the Extension office, 729-3196, to find out more about the private pesticide applicator training. That'll be Thursday, February 24th. And, of course, too, we mentioned about the farmers market workshops. These will be by a Zoom only from noon to 1, Monday through Friday, February 7th through the 11th. And it really is a real good educational piece for you if you want to get into the farmers market business. Cost is $20 for the entire 5-part series. All the sessions will be recorded and available even after the event. If you can't make it from noon until 1, you can still register at extension.missouri.edu/events. So that's the easy way to find the events on the extension is go to extension.missouri.edu. That will take you to the generic University of Missouri Extension website, and then you can click on events, and it'll bring you up a whole bevy of them. You can also put in DENT in the search bar, and it will bring you up the ones that are held locally. This one is obviously just a Zoom. It's available through the Extension website. You can register right there at extension.missouri.edu/events. Go to the search bar, type in Farmers Market, and go to the 2022 Selling at the Farmers Market entry, and you can sign up for that. And also, don't forget, again, we'll remind you, just like Rachel did, the IRS has a farmer's tax guide available. That publication is available at the Extension office on the second floor of the Judicial Building. You can call them, 729-3196, if you don't want to climb those stairs. They can bring one down to you, or they can even probably mail you one. To get a copy of the Farmer's Tax Guide, publication 225, again, stop by the Extension office in the Dent County Judicial Building on the second floor, or call 729-3196, and that is free. That publication is free. Okay. Well, we appreciate you joining us here at KSMO Radio, 1340, and online at ksmoradio.com for our time with our extension right here on 1340 KSMO. I want to thank Rachel Hopkins for being our guest